EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for June 4th, 2021. Today's video forecast is sponsored, as it is every single Friday, by George's Quick Stop Cafe in Marshalls Creek, Pennsylvania. It is on Milford Road, which is also Route 209, and very close to the Stroudsburg area. They are proudly sponsoring the video now for about 2 months. So this is one of our, it actually was our first sponsor. We have a couple other sponsors. Then we still have a couple of days open yet. So if you do want to sponsor the Rent My Head promotion, which is this is their hat for George's Quick Stop Cafe, you just need to send me your company's hat with the logo on it, and reach out to me at info@epawaweather.com, and I'll get you information on how to sponsor a certain day of the week. Of course, Fridays are taken up, Saturdays are now taken up, at least through this month, and then we have the Reading Fightins on Tuesday. So the other days of the week are still available. So send me an email if you want more information on how to participate in that promotion. Before we get into today's forecast, because this is looking at this afternoon here on the European model, and it looks pretty ominous. Your phone apps are probably going to look pretty ominous as well, as far as scattered thunderstorm activity. You look at those hourly forecasts on the apps, they're probably to think it's going to rain all day long today, and it's not. And this is what I'm here for. I'm trying to separate fiction from reality. This is not happening today, and this looks pretty like we're going to get a washout today. Not even close, okay? And I'll show you why in a minute. Before I do that, though, I want to touch on yesterday, because you get a lot of comments on social media about how the Storm Prediction Center, when they issued these severe thunderstorm watches, a lot of people felt that it wasn't necessary. There were a handful of severe reports, mostly wind damage reports. It might not have. I didn't exactly agree with how far they expanded the severe thunderstorm watch. Like, they had it all the way up to I-78 and parts of New Jersey, and both Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and then all the way up to the southern Poconos with that severe thunderstorm watch yesterday. And I didn't feel that was really necessary. We don't make that call, though. We are an ambassador for the National Weather Service, and when they issue something, and they're the sole issuing authority, I can't issue anything. AccuWeather can't issue anything. The Weather Channel can't issue anything. They have apps that will push the National Weather Service alerts out. So people say, "Oh, AccuWeather just gave me an alert." Well, no, they didn't. Actually, they pushed the alert to you, but it originates from the National Weather Service. They are the sole issuing authority. No one else in the country is allowed to do that. So they issue all watches and warnings, and it's done that on purpose so there's not confusion. Okay. You need a centralized coordination source in order to do this. And sometimes they're going to issue things that we don't agree with. I'm not saying I didn't agree with it entirely. I just would have had it in a different area. Okay, in some areas, I thought the areas based on the clearing and the observations that I was seeing during the day, I was not seeing any chance for that far north with that watch, and they issued it anyway. I guess better to be safe than sorry sometimes. But, people are asking me why they're doing it. I don't know why they did what they did. I'll just, like I did yesterday's video, I said I was not thrilled with a severe weather event yesterday, that at all. I was not thrilled with the idea of a busy day in severe weather, and that's exactly how it turned out. And I gave you laid out the reasons why. That's what I'll do, okay? I'm going to separate fiction from reality and give you the bottom line of what my opinion is, yes, but it's probably going to be correct most times than not. And I'm not just trying to say that to make myself sound good. There's a lot of things we do that is hyper-focused on this area, that we know this area very well, and I can see a lot of things and adjust in real time a lot better than they can on a much larger scale. So this is a smaller scale. I can do things a lot easier than they can, and I'll relay that information as I see going forward, and as I have been for many years. Those of you who followed along for a very long time understand that, but just want to make sure that's clear, because I'm still getting a lot of questions about why. I don't know why they do what they do sometimes. They're a little bit too aggressive with their approach yesterday. Not how I would have handled it, but again, they're the professionals. They're the sole coordinated source. We're going to continue to relay their information as it comes in. So the reason I don't like today, there's a upper level trough axis moving through the region this afternoon. At the same time, we have a decaying frontal boundary in the vicinity. So you're going to have some clouds this morning, plenty of clouds. They're going to go to about noon, 1 o'clock. Then you might start getting some breaks in the action, some sunny breaks. Not full sun, but maybe some peaks of sun during the course of the afternoon until that mid-level or the upper-level trough moves through the region. When that does so, it could be a trigger for a few isolated showers or thunderstorms. And I'll show you here on the NAM what I'm talking about. As you go through the afternoon, here's the middle little trough axis right here. Right here. You see a northwest to southeast alignment here. See how little these showers and possible thunderstorms are with this? It's not much. And this is kind of like a mid to late afternoon deal when it moves through eastern Pennsylvania. And then it continues off in New Jersey. And that's it. You got some trailing stuff behind here too. I'm not sure if this is correct, but these are mainly pulsars. So with severe weather you need to have, or any kind of thunderstorm activity, you need to have something to sustain these storms. If the shear is not high enough, like we don't have today, we're lacking shear, especially the further in the afternoon we go, these are just going to pulse out, okay? They can't become some big organized line that marches across the state. So I do believe that this is correct, that we're going to have very little isolated activity. If you look at the European model, it looks like, oh, well, that's not isolated. And it's not, and that's what the apps are going off of. Now that they're in the short range, they're probably going to change and have a better representation of what's going to happen in the apps today. And these are going to be hit or miss, isolated, but some of you could get a quick thunderstorm out of this where it pulses up. Might actually be a little bit on the stronger side, and then it just fizzles out like 15 miles down the road because it's just not enough shear to sustain these. And this is going to go into the early evening hours, and then that's it. Again, I'm not believing this nonsense back here, but there is something trailing that. I'm not sure what's doing that here on the NAM, but if there is something, that's going to fizzle out as well prior to midnight, certainly. The HRR is an agreement with the European, or with the NAM here. There's going to be very isolated activity, and doesn't have this any trailing nonsense here behind it, which I think is correct. So the bottom line is today, I wouldn't think that there's going to be a big deal. Isolated activity, mid to late afternoon kind of thing, going up to about dinner time. After that, the skies are going to clear. So we'll kind of be mostly cloudy this afternoon, some peaks of sun. And then once we get past, get to dinner time, and after that point, we start to clear out. And I mean, at least partly cloudy, if not mostly clear. Okay, so that's the deal with that. After that, we kick this offshore, and then we're going to have a much hotter go at it here for the next several days in a row. We're going to have a heat wave move in here. Looks like it's going to be likely across most of our region. 76 to 80 is a spread today because you're going to have a lot of clouds to deal with. But once we get into tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. 87 to 91 is the spread. 91 will be down here by Philadelphia. A couple areas around here are going to be hitting 90 or close to. It's like Harrisburg, Allentown, Newark, places like that will hit. Wilkes-Barre can certainly hit 90 degrees here on Saturday already. If not, it's going to come awfully close. Okay, this is just the start of it. We're going to continue to increase temperatures here on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think temperatures get up in the low to mid 90s during that stretch as we head into that period. So probably about 90, 92-ish on Monday or Sunday, and then we get into the low to mid 90s for Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And even Thursday, I don't think is going to be too bad. We do have a thunderstorm chance coming back into the picture here for later in the day on Wednesday. So up until that point, it's probably dry. Here's some isolated thunderstorms possible here on Wednesday. As that ridge starts to break down, there's a big ridge responsible for all this heat and humidity, and it is going to be humid. It's going to be some heat headlines from the National Weather Service, most likely, like heat advisories type thing. I do expect that, especially in the urban corridor near Philadelphia up to Newark, down to Washington, D.C., Baltimore, those areas especially. But in and around the metro regions also, we'll probably have some heat advisories going up from the National Weather Service in the week ahead. I'm almost positive of that because the heat index values are going to be very high. So the next chance of precipitation is going to be probably Wednesday, and that's just an isolated thunderstorm chance, and then it gets back to partly cloudy skies here at the end of the forecast period on Thursday. There is a chance, if I take this beyond this, that we have a more organized activity of scattered showers and thunderstorms by Friday of next week. But the ridge is going to be breaking down past midweek, so we'll have the opportunity for some little disturbances to move through the region that could spark a thunderstorm and kind of break the heat on any of those days once we get into mainly just Wednesday, but more so on Friday of next week. But we'll examine the Friday system as we get closer and it gets within our 7-day forecast window. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martris. That is your outlook for June 4th, 2021. Have a great Friday.